post-walk time. Did I flip it? Yes, I did. Every time I say flip it, it reminds me of that like 90s game where you go flip it, bop it, switch it, reverse it. I can put this right here. So after walk debriefing, right? After walk debriefing, what was I saying? Oh, about vlog, not vlogging. Oh my gosh, what was I saying about my fingers are so cold. I need to put like heat or something. Did you have a good walk, River? What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, the vet. I will say if you ever go to something I've learned is that going to veterinary, I think have pet insurance beforehand. I didn't have pet insurance. So lesson learned in that respect. The vet, meaning like what I like to do typically is, and that's not really, actually let me take this off. I have a shirt underneath, it's not like I'm gonna, but next time I am wearing a jacket because I underestimated how cold, because I keep thinking, oh, I've been here for how long? Since June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Oh my gosh. 10 months. I've been here 10 months. Holy moly, I survived being 10 months of Vermont. That's pretty amazing. So if you go to a veterinary, like the vet, anything, I think, I always do that with restaurants. If you go on Yelp, there's also TripAdvisor too. But, or like if you're going to like a human like healthcare thing, there's something called Vitals or healthgrades.com. Because what I've learned is that, I mean, it is, some people I have learned that they will make stuff up, or like, let's say there's a disgruntled employee and they talk poorly about an organization, like, which is rude. Like, I never would do that. Like, even if I was angry about it, I would still never do that. But I think Yelp is I've been doing Yelp for like 7 years now. Shout out to Yelp. But Yelp is a really good resource for like, I'm taking my boots off because, you know, thank God there's no more snow. I mean, I don't know if it's going to snow anymore, and I hope not. It's beautiful to look at, but it's treacherous to walk through, especially if you don't have the right boots, which these boots I got from, I don't know what, they're Kamiks. They're Kamik boots. So these boots I got from at DSW like several months ago, because I didn't have any, like my UGG boots that I had for like at least 4 or 5 years. So it's really funny because in like Florida, this is what I think is so funny. So in Florida, when it's cold, everybody gets like, when it's 50s, so it's when it's in the 60s, people bring out their like, their scarves, the earmuffs, boots. Like, it was, I remember in middle school, that was like the biggest thing, is like everyone had to have UGG boots, like the brown ones with the fur, and that kind of showed you were like, oh, you know, you were like cool or whatever. I could care less about, I care more about the functionality, the practicality, quality, and warmth. I'm not really big on animal fur, even though it's, I don't know if this is animal fur, I think this is synthetic, I'm not sure. But I will say that boots, and I'm going to get back to my point about veterinary care, but I will say when you're going on a walk with your dog, make sure you have good, because I have learned the hard way that if they don't have proper traction, you will, I've fallen, I literally fell on my butt, it was bad, that was a really bad fall, that was like maybe 2 months ago, and I said, there must be a guardian angel watching over me, because that fall was so catastrophic. Like, I literally, my heel, like, I don't know what happened, but I think there was the snow, because what happens is when snow melts, it leaves, like, it can literally, it turns to ice, basically, and then if you're not careful, you literally can, like, you can slip and fall. So, I literally, I think my heel gave under me, Bonnie pulled, and she actually, at that same time, I lost grip of her leash, and she actually, ran forward, and I go, thank God I was calm and cool and collected, and I remember I pretended I had a treat in my hand, and I like held it to myself, and I kneeled down, but I didn't even have time to like, where are you, oh, I thought you So, what was he saying? What was he saying? Oh, that, yeah, so she slipped out of my hands, and then I pretended I had a treat. I was kneeling down. I didn't even have time to think about, like, the fall itself. And there was, I remember, a family in front of me. Like, I don't know, I think they were watching the whole thing go down. They didn't approach me, but I tried to stay as calm as I could before. It's happened a few times. So I've noticed that Bonnie, if I open the door, she will dart out. And it's not because she doesn't like being here. I know she loves me, but she's so curious, like innately curious, that she will dart. Right? She will dart outside. What? You're gonna eat soon. It's 7 o'clock, so Bonnie's not like, she's like, I want food. She's like, give me food. Which is good considering that she wasn't eating for like at least, I don't know, it was several days. But I also think my dog is very picky. It's hard with dogs because you want to get, it's almost like children, right? They're like your fur children because you want to give them a good quality life and you want to give them good quality things so they live a long life. But then you run into like the gimmicks of like, oh, buy this food, it's like organic, buy this one, and then you end up drowning in like $300 of food that like maybe your dog's name like. So yeah, so I've kind of what you went on a walk already, River. But yeah, that slip and fall was pretty bad. So I would always say if you take your dog for a walk, especially in like not inclement weather, but like snowy weather. Here it's April. I still can't understand how it's April and it's cold. Because at home, at Miami, it would be spring. It would be springtime. It would be like flowers and like bees, but like butter. Like I remember one of my favorite things living, and you would wonder the way I talk about Miami, why I don't go back. Well, first of all, the drive back, I would have to drive back. I wouldn't go on a plane because just having her on a plane, I know she would not ever tolerate that. I know I've seen some videos of like these amazing dogs who are just like, yes, I'm talking about you. That they would go on a plane, and I wish, but I don't think she would ever. It wouldn't sit well with her. Like I would have to basically give her like a sedative, like trazodone or something beforehand. So I wouldn't do that to her. But a car ride would probably be like 16 hours, maybe more. Because me, when I go on a road trip, I'll stop off. I have like a tradition. Like if I'm on the road, because when I was traveling, like when I was going up from when I was in Philadelphia, I remember I'd like go in a rental car, and when I needed to do time for myself, like self-care, I would go ahead and do like a day trip. I remember we went to Cape May, New Jersey, right? It was Cape May, New Jersey. I talked to her like she's like a human, but she's like, I know you can understand me. She's giving me these puppy. I don't know why she's giving me these puppy dog eyes. Which I'll move this over here. Why are you giving me? This is her face. Why are you giving me those puppy dog eyes? You just went on a walkie. Right? This is my library of books that I have yet to read. Not yet to read. I've been trying to read them. But, what? Yes. Beep. Beep, beep. So, well, I forgot what I was saying, but, yeah, in Florida. So moving, that would take a lot of time to go back there. The weather is really great. Over there. It's just that's where I grew up, so it's like a lot of my memories and nostalgia are there. But it's vastly different. Like if it was springtime, one of my favorite things living there is when it was springtime, I would see these beautiful butterflies that were just like, there were these yellow butterflies I would see all the time, and these beautiful white butterflies also, just all the time. And usually they say if you see butterflies, they're like significant of like angels or like guardian angels, and I'm very spiritual, so I used to love seeing those. And then also like the orange ones as well, those are beautiful, but my favorite were the yellow ones, by far. And I really haven't seen any here. I've noticed I really haven't seen, well, it's also winter time, so I don't think I'm gonna see that many. But what else? But yeah, so one thing I've learned, so this is her she's kind of lethargic. I also think maybe she's kind of bored, because so if you have a Labrador Retriever, I highly recommend, I see a lot on Instagram, these people who like, typically if you're, I wasn't well educated in terms of dogs. When I wanted a dog, I was living in Philadelphia, and I went to New Jersey, to Animal Welfare Association in Voorhees, New Jersey, and it was like kind of like a hop, skip, and a jump. It was only like an hour away. I got a rental car, and I remember I drove there, And I went to the shelter, and literally you go in, and it was like, it's a same day adoption thing, and you go in. I don't remember if they background check you, but they do like give you a pretty thorough interview, and they ask about your living arrangements, your finances, your job, because they want to make sure you can afford it and pay for the dog, which I now totally understand after having going to like the vet and all that. Like, dogs are they're costly, you know. And she's a rescue. She's a Labrador Retriever mix, right? Labrador Retriever mix, Husky, Mountain Cur, Catahoula, according to Embark veterinary testing. What else? Yeah, so we went there, and then I remember it was between her and another dog. I can't remember what the dog's name was, but he was so cute. And they had me like go and literally hang out like in the back area, like with the adoption coordinator. She was so smart. This girl was like, oh my God. And she was young. She was super young, super smart. I mean, she had a plethora of knowledge. Like, if I could, I would just like sit. I wish I could have just like sat with her and listened to her talk for like ever about dogs, because she was so passionate. I love when people are passionate about things, because that means that they know about it and they truly care. So like, she was so like determined. She was like telling me everything about the dogs and like training. And I remember Bonnie she was very like playful. I have pictures of her with the adoption coordinator still, and I adopted her January 23rd, 2023. So it's 2025. It's April 2025. And she was 3 years old, so she's 5 years old now. She does have some white on her snout. Hi, Bear Bear. I don't know why I call her Bear Bear. I don't know. Lady Bear, Bear Bear, Bushi. I don't know why I call her Shushi. Bushi, Shushi. She has a lot of nicknames, and she bears with me in my my highs and lows. Right. I think she's sleepy. Right? Are you sleepy? You look sleepy. She looks kind of sleepy. She has to eat at 9, like 8:45 a.m. or 9. This is basically the earliest I have ever been up. I'm very much a night owl, and I usually sleep till, like, I usually go to sleep a lot. Granted, like I said, I've been through a lot of stuff, like trauma-wise, so my nervous system's kind of all over the place. So I'm proud that I was able to, like, I slept, what time? I got up like at 4 something, which is like unheard of for me, because I'm not a morning person. I wish I could that'd be really cool in terms of like a behavioral study, to like make night people into morning people. Like, that would be really great, because I would love to be more, I would love, and it's actually interesting, because going outside, there is this kind of different energy in the morning, but it was also very quiet. I didn't really see that many people. I think there was like one guy walking his dog, and that was it. And then I saw one guy in his house. I kind of waved to him, and he had his cat with him. So what else? But yeah, the vet, I think the vet thing is like, definitely vet your vet, meaning like go on Yelp, go on, if they have a YouTube channel, because you're going to end up paying. Some of them, I will say, some vets really genuinely do care. They care about your animal. They're not there to like price gouge you. Some of them, I will say, you know, and I'm the kind of person, I am very empathetic and like emotional, and you could think I'm sometimes kind of flighty and spacey, but for the most part, I'm very cerebral, and I do my homework, and I'm very thorough in my research. So, that's kind of how I am when I look into restaurants, into products, into vacations, hotels, everything. Like, I always go by reviews. Always, 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 always. It's not to say you can totally generalize it from those people's experiences, but more often than not, if you see a place like a restaurant and it has great reviews, you know that people come back consistently. Same thing for a veterinary service, because then you're going to end up with a bill that's like over $1,000, and, you know, scrambling to, like, you know, figure out how to pay. Even if you have a job, like, it's still, you know, it's hard. So vet your vet everything. I think I vet even dog food. Like, when I was, there's a food that I want to try by Katherine Heigl. It's called Badlands Ranch, and it's like all real, like, she did, that girl, oh my gosh, I watched her ad on the thing, and she did so much research on it. It's crazy. Like, she basically put all the superfoods you can think of into like air dried dog food. I tried Pet's Table. I will say that, like, beautiful aesthetically. Like aesthetically, the packaging, the color, the color themes, everything was very nice. I want to try Unkibble. I've seen so many ads for that. It's called Unkibble, I think. Kibble, I don't know. It's called Unkibble, but they claim that the dogs don't need like any. Because for her food, I always have to put a topper. I have to put like a wet food topper because she's very picky. But I'm wondering what's going on with it because this is her. She's usually more playful. I know. So one thing I'm kind of a big proponent of is BarkBox. BarkBox is like a really fun toy for her. I found out about BarkBox years ago, and then I was like, you know what? When I got her, I was like, let me get that for her. But they send you 2 toys. You can customize it to be like plush toys or like nylon hard toys. So all her toys are in that bucket over there. She's very spoiled. I don't know, can I zoom in? No, I can't zoom in. And what else? BarkBox. But yeah, vet your vet. If you go on walks, make sure you get good shoes. Especially if you're in like a more hilly, like mountainous area, or if there's a lot of like snow, or luckily the snow has dissipated and it's melted. But that is that, and yeah, I think those are my key points, takeaways for today. And also, I've learned walk your dog. I will say, so when it's winter time, you have to go the whole kit and caboodle with the earmuffs, the scarf, the gloves, the jacket, layers yourself. So walking a dog, you have to be very selfless and be like, now I will say though, I'm kind of nervous ever since I slipped and fell like 2 or 3 times in the snow or like on the ice. I'm kind of reluctant to go out like in cold weather. That's why I kind of want to move somewhere where there's I like being here. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I moved to Vermont. I don't know if I'm going to be staying here that much longer. My lease is up in June. Not my lease, like with Furnish Finder, they basically, it's like they do month to month. But yeah, it was an experience, I will say that. But I do recommend, like I said before on the walk when I was with her, if you're somebody like, I think everyone in their life, like once they reach a certain age, you should, like if you have the funds to do it, the money, definitely travel, even if it's to like a state that's like right next to yours. Go and do so, because even if it feels uncomfortable, I have a video, I think I did a video about getting I don't know if I did, it was called Getting Comfortable in the Uncomfortable, because it's going to feel, some places you're not going to feel welcomed, you're going to get weird glances from people, your neighbors might not be that friendly, some may be, but you're going to learn a lot, and yeah, you want to go where you're welcomed and appreciated, but not everything in life is going to be sunshine, butterflies, and roses. It's just not. I'm just being honest. You can make it. I'm someone who's really good at transmuting, which means like transforming energy from being negative to positive. I'm kind of like literally I'm very good at. I can be in a really horrible like negative situation